Hi everyone, my name is DeLee Grant and I'm right now sitting in my home studio in White City, Saskatchewan. I'd like to thank Art Now for putting these artist talks together. It's a whole different way of doing things from the live shows, and Art Now has done a wonderful job of putting on this virtual show. I can't imagine how hard it has been, not only on the staff at Art Now, but also it's a total learning experience for the galleries and as well for us artists. So anyway, I'll just introduce talk a bit about the group that I belong to. We work out of the Lobby Gallery in Regina, which is located on Angus Street. And the Lobby Gallery is exactly that. It's in the lobby of the Regina Performing Arts Centre. It was established in 2015, and I am a member, as I mentioned, of the Regina Art Collective. I'll just show you our brochure here that we prepared for 2019-2020. There is 9 members in our group, and I'll just briefly mention their names here. We have Dave Geddes, myself, Nikki Jacquin, Matthew Kumar, Shelley McGillivray, Derek Olson, Mark Sexton, Les Sneesby, and Jeffrey Taylor. We actually just finished setting up our show yesterday in the gallery. The show does run from September the 6th to October the 30th. We are going to be taking part in the art walk on September 25th and 26th. As well, we hope to have demonstrations going on during this art walk with the group members of RAC. So that's going to be totally different for us, and it'll be, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'll just talk a little bit now about my art practice. It's been just a strange times for everyone. And actually, we called our show Change is Good. Now, initially when COVID hit, it upset our whole world, really. The artists, myself personally, I had a lot of shows planned. I actually had a trip to Ireland. I'm a plein air painter, which basically I go to these festivals. It's like a competition. We paint in open air, and it was going to be a lifetime trip for me to participate in a plein air festival in Ireland. But when COVID hit, that changed all that, and we had to find a different way of doing things. We called the show Change is Good, but initially it was hard to convince us that it was good. But in the long run, we have learned to do things, we've had to deal with it. And the people in Saskatchewan are pretty tough, and we have a lot of stuff thrown at us over the years, and we have withstood them all. So COVID is something we would have never dreamed that we would have to face, but we had to. And for me, it became a chance to try out some new things. I really had, this is actually even preparing this video. That's something I've never done before. It's totally, you have to roll with the punches and learn how to do these things. Anyway, as I mentioned, I'm sitting here in my studio, and a little bit about my background. I'm often asked when I started to paint, and I recall that one of the biggest thrills I had when I was about 6 years old is grade 1, and my favorite class was art class. I couldn't wait till we had art class, and then we would do these paintings or color the coloring books or whatever we did. And I took them home to my parents, and they were always very interested in what I'm doing. I was very fortunate to have a mother that was an artist as well. So she totally influenced me and encouraged me to pursue my love of creating work, paintings, drawings, whatever. So I have been doing art for many, many years, and I guess the first, I had a full-time career. I worked in a job for 32 years, and I'd always painted throughout this time, but I'd actually didn't have that much time to paint. So if I got 6 paintings done a year, I felt fortunate for that to get those done. But during this time, the photography became my method of creating. It took less time and it was more convenient and whatnot. But I never lost my love of painting. And when I was able, I took early retirement from my job so I could devote more time to being a full-time artist. And so I've been painting full-time since 2007. I first started out, I guess, plein air painting I was introduced to that when I went to a workshop, it was a photography workshop actually in Kenderdine at the Emma Lake. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. But anyway, I went there for a photography class, and I saw a lot of people that were out painting. And I thought, next year I'm going to come back and I'm going to try that out. It looked just like so much fun. And so I went there the following year, and I went back there every year with my paints to do plein air painting in that area. It wasn't an instructional type class that I was involved with, but the artists that were attending there were very helpful. We basically painted all day, and then Dagan Linder she was the artist that was conducting the workshop. She would come to us individually and comment on our work, give us a few hints, and at the end of the day, we'd all gather and have critiques, and it was so much fun. I missed that place so much, and it's closed now, so time goes on, and I think I started participating in the plein air festivals. They were hard to find in Canada, and so there were several in the northern part of the States, and I started attending them. Some of the paintings you see behind me were done in the Utah area. They have festivals there every year where 100 artists gather. They come from all over the States. They've even had people from out of the country as far away as England. So we gather between 80 and 100 artists, and we paint all week, and they have judges that judge the work, and there's awards presentations at the end of the festival, and it's just a wonderful time. But of course this year everything was canceled, and which is a big disappointment. I can't say it's not a disappointment, but I do look forward to them starting up again. I would actually love to see more festivals up here in Canada. There is a few. Some of them are further way down east or whatnot. I guess here we have a shorter season to paint outdoors. Although I must admit, I do paint plein air in the winter. I have a small setup that I put together, and I can paint in my vehicle, and of course the paintings are small, but I do get out there when the weather is too inclement to even paint in the vehicle. I'll set up still lifes in the studio here, and I keep my eye-hand coordination trained, or I guess exercised, and I think that helps when I get ready and gear up in the spring for spring, summer, and fall. I will be going out later on this fall to the Cypress Hills area. I do like to paint in a lot of our provincial parks. We have beautiful scenery here in Saskatchewan, just as beautiful as any place in the world, and I've always been an outdoor person, so to paint outside has always been something that I can be outside painting, and I can enjoy the outdoor experience. Although I must say, it's not always, you have a lot of things to battle out there sometimes, like the insects and of course the wind in Saskatchewan, which has been crazy this year. But those are things you have to deal with. But I love the freshness of the paints and just the whole experience of doing it. So that's a little bit about what I do. I also am lucky. I'll take you on a brief trip of my working studio here. I lived in a farm. We actually just moved off our farm, myself and my husband. We lived on a farm for 31 years just outside of White City. So we currently moved, this will be our second winter here, to White City, Saskatchewan. And I was lucky enough to find a space that is a double car garage, and so gives me, I can be as messy as I want, and it's a great space to work in. I feel very fortunate that I can have that. The panels you see behind me is kind of a display of where I can put my paintings to dry. They serve as another purpose as well, because I also do attend some shows that are going on here in Saskatchewan. Currently, most of them have been canceled, so the ones I'm involved with are virtual shows. So I will be photographing the artwork and downloading it to a page, and there's another whole process that I have to delve into. But I guess my photography background has helped with that, because I'm able to photograph my work and download it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those shows go. I'm sure we'll be successful, and we hope that we can get the marketing out there so the art collectors we can share our work with them, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's about it. I'm going to shut this off for a minute and restart it, and I'll show you, I'll take you on a brief studio tour. I should mention one more thing too before about the Regina Art Collective. We do have a website. It's artcollective.com, and we also have a Facebook page. So if you want to check out that, you can see our members and the work as well. That's it. So, well, thank you very much. I've actually enjoyed doing this interview, and I'd once again like to thank the organization, the Art Now, for all the work you've done to make this virtual show happen. As mentioned, we've got an art walk coming up, and as part of the Art Now show, and we'd like to see lots of people come out and see us working on our projects. So once again, thanks everyone for, I hope you've enjoyed my presentation. It was a pleasure to do it. Thank you very much.